All right, so I got multiple things going on here. Got some gooseberries with some leaves still on them, but shaping these unruly guys up. They get pretty thorny and all over the place. Some elderberries, just shaping the new freshly potted rooted cuttings up. They were a little gangly, so just shaped it up, took some cuttings. This is from I believe it's an everbearing mulberry. It might not be, but I'm pretty sure it's an everbearing mulberry. Big story with that. This is why you always try and buy from a reputable nursery, not off of Etsy. At least in my experience, sometimes off Etsy it's not as reputable. Bought some mulberries, everbearing mulberries, and then it came packaged with another red mulberry, but it just said 2 everbearing plus 1 red mulberry. So I have a 67% chance that it's an everbearing mulberry and a 33% chance that it's just a red mulberry. But we'll just move on. We're hoping it's everbearing because I've been babying it for 2 years now, hoping it's everbearing. But then we have some named cultivar Aronia cuttings. So what we're gonna do here is, I dug out this spot right here, if you can't tell. This is where the gooseberry cuttings that got potted up, some of the elderberry plants, this big mulberry, and then 2 or 3 Aronias. We're right here, next to this elderberry behind this guy right here. And so that spot has been busted up and uprooted. So we're gonna use the work that we've already done to dig the plants, to uproot and pot them, to make us a new garden bed. So we're using the work from here to go towards the cuttings, and we're using the shaping of the plants to go towards new plants. Always having one job feed into the next. Obtain a yield, I guess you would say, in the permaculture world. So these are all named varieties. The only one I'm 100% positive of is this one right here, because I'm so bad with organization and notes that I just buy a cultivar of something and stow it away somewhere, which needs to be note to future self. You need to get better at organization about these plants, because people want to know the cultivar they're buying. They don't want to know just that it's a gooseberry. Black Velvet's one of the ones I've bought. Glendale's one of the ones I've bought. Hinanaki Red is one of the ones I've bought. But I don't know where any of them are. I just know that there's somewhere in this backyard, one of the 20 gooseberries that's scattered around here is one of those cultivars. So, yeah, need to do better about that. Back to the video. Ground is already prepped pretty well through here, but where that purple pot is down this row is about where the apple project's gonna go. So this is the nursery space where you see all these leaves, where those cuttings are, behind this airprune bed. Looks like we've rotated about 90 degrees on you. Now we're facing due west. The sun on our southeastern side, and then it's the west. Behind me is the east, north. I had some Aronia cuttings, well, 2 Aronia cuttings that survived right here last year. So I'm thinking about where that tobacco stick is at, to the box, to the cinder block, to where this dead tomato vine is right here, in that little 2 foot by 4 foot space is where I'm going to put my Aronia cuttings for this year. So I'm just going to bust this ground up as good as I can. Get all of the weeds out as best as I can, in terms of like the root material of things that are going to come back up, because while these plants are trying to root out, you don't want to have any root competition, any nutrient competition, any type of water competition. You just want it to be strictly the plant working on roots. You're not going to have 100% success rate, because some of them will most certainly mold. So now, I'll just have to cut this down into manageable, anywhere from 4 to 12-inch segments, Most people recommend two nodes above ground. So, and Edible Acres also mentioned one time that you want to have 2/3 of the plant below ground, 1/3 above ground. So that's what we'll go do over here with the Aronia. Well, turns out I actually didn't film any of it. So yeah, there's some Aronia here, and it is circled by some garlic. I'll show you the process over here. I have in my hand what I think to be ever-bearing mulberry cuttings and a bare spot in the ground. I will go on and stab them in and show you what it looks like. All right, so I got all the mulberries stuck in the ground here, and then I'm gonna go through and really push down hard on those, because as the weather cools, freezes, and thaws, you'll have these heave out of the ground. So you really got to make sure to firm them up and bury them in leaves really good so that that doesn't happen to you. And I'm also going through here and putting some garlic in the ground that I'm quite late to planting this year. I got 5 or 6, 8 more heads to go planting this way. Yeah, it's December 17th. I'm really late to planting. So now the only thing left to do is to bury it all in leaves. And then that's how you start plants from cuttings.